Hi, my name is Florence, and I'm a Black woman living in Germany who loves reading books. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first time you're watching me. I love reading books, as I've said, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me as I share some of the books that I'm reading, the books that I love, and yeah, get inspired as we build this community of book lovers. So today I want to share with you my March hopefuls. I know we're already almost at the end of March. I don't like having like a TBR list because it just gets overwhelming, and I feel guilty when I don't read all the books that I put on my TBR list. So I prefer to call it hopefuls. So these are my March hopefuls. Some I've managed to read, but some are still on my shelf to be read. But if I don't manage to read them, I usually just forward them to the next month. I don't waste a book. We don't waste books here. So let me start. The first book is one that I read. This is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. I will do a recap of the reads at the end of the month or the beginning of April. But this I managed to read, as you can see. This was so beautiful, so beautifully written. It's set in a city called Neo-Kossus. I'm not so sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's in North Cyprus. And that was back when the Turkish and the Greek lived together. But then because there was an unrest between the two communities, which broke the bond that they had, because they were living together. And yeah, they had to leave, and it follows two teenagers. Yeah, it's a love story. It's about a tree. There's a fig tree. It's just amazing. I love how Elif Shafak writes, and she also includes a gay couple. So she brings in, because she identifies as a queer writer, she always brings a queer story into her books, which I really loved. So this was good. Next is another book that I really enjoyed. This is Black Girl Call Home. It's a collection of poems by Jasmine Mans. A friend gave me hers. I borrowed her copy from a friend because I just wanted to find out. I'm not so much of a poetry reader, so I wanted to find out how good the book is before I buy it. And this is my copy, as you can see. It's pretty new. I love it. This is like a black girl Bible. Jasmine Mans is an amazing writer. The poems speak to every black woman. I feel like this is a Bible to us. Everyone should have this. Everyone should have this. Next is Passing by Nella Larsen. This was a recommendation by a fellow book talker, someone who I follow, Bukola, who shares about books on social media. And it's essentially about two women who, back in the early 1920s, in the 1920s, when there was still segregation between blacks and whites in America, they were light-skinned, so they were of mixed racial descent, and they were passing as white women to benefit from all those things that white people would get that especially black women couldn't get. It's a it's a small book, but a very, very powerful story. I've been told that there's a movie about it. It's on Netflix, and I've downloaded it, so I think I'll watch it over the weekend. Also very good. The next book that I read, as you can see, is The 7 Moons of Marley Almeida. Oh, this was so good. This is by Shehan Karunatilaka, and this book won him a Booker Prize 2022. The beginning of the book is a bit difficult. It follows the story of Marley Almeida, who is a queer, a gay photographer who has just died. So that's how the book opens, and we follow him as he navigates life after death, as he's trying to find out who killed him and why, and where is he going next. It's so beautifully written. You need to really concentrate on it. It's not so easy, but once you get the hang of it, I would say the first 50 pages, then the story starts flowing. Highly recommend it. A beautiful book. Next, the book that I'm currently reading is called Drinking from Graveyard Wells, a collection of short stories by Yvette Lisandlovu. This is a book club pick, one of a digital book club that I'm part of. This is the book that we are reading, and it's also a book club pick for another book club that I'm in, but we'll read it much later. So I wanted to read it now. I'm not yet done, as you can see. I'm a quarter done. It's just a collection of stories about, because the writer is Zambian, I believe. She's Zambian. Zimbabwean, sorry. The writer is Zimbabwean. She talks about women, black women, ownership of our bodies, thoughts that go through our heads, injustice, revenge. So far, I'm really, really loving it. Then we come to the books that I haven't read. This is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I borrowed this from my library. I've read one of his other books, Norwegian Wood, which was so heartbreaking. So I feel like I've healed enough to read again a book by him. He's from Japan, I believe. Yeah, I think so. So this I will give it my best. Next is a memoir, Unbowed, One Woman Story. It's by Wangari Maathai, who was a Kenyan political activist, environmental activist, author, a powerful woman, a strong woman, a woman dedicated to the environment, to people, to freedom, and a Nobel Peace winner. I've never read her book. I'm Kenyan, and that's embarrassing, so I had to get her book. I want to make sure that I read at least one Kenyan book per month, so this was my choice. So looking forward to reading this. Next is Please Don't Sit on My Bed in Your Outside Clothes by Phoebe Robinson. This I borrowed from a friend. I don't know about it, but she told me that it's good, so it should be a quick read. So looking forward to reading this. And next is The First Woman by Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi. She is a Ugandan writer. I want to get into East African writers because sometimes I feel like, especially on the internet, we get a lot of recommendation of books by West African authors. I'm not complaining, but I just feel like we need to also read books from other parts of Africa, just to diversify our shelves. So I'm looking forward to reading this. The next is Decolonizing Wellness, a QT BIPOC-centered guide to escape the diet trap, heal your self-image, and achieve body liberation by Dahlia Kinsley. This is a book club pick. there's a book club that I'm in. We have a meeting on the 30th. So this is the book we are discussing. It's a short read. So I'm looking forward to reading this in time for the book club meeting. Then last but not least is Mr. Loverman by Bernardino Evaristo. This I have read. I have it as an audiobook. I loved it. It's a story about a man, I believe he's from Jamaica, and he's married, but he's also having an affair. He's been having an affair all throughout with his friend, male best friend. So it's also queer focused. And it's I'm also in another book club, and this is the book that we are reading this month. So I'm looking forward to I think I'll just flip through it to remind myself in time for the meeting. Yeah, so those are the books that I am planning to read this this month. I have about a week and a half to go, and hopefully I will be done. And what I don't finish reading, I'll just postpone to the next month. It's not a must. It is not a must. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you've read any of these books. I'd love to know your thoughts on them. Are there any books that you'd recommend? I have a long list. I have a list of like books I would love to buy. So I just add that on it, and yeah, just to have like a list I can always go back to. So please share with me your reads in March. And the next video will be a wrap-up of my reads in March. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for watching, and wish you a lovely evening or day wherever you are. Bye-bye.